we're going to be talking about the Benue State. Benue State is under siege. The governor of Benue State, Saint Alia, has declared that the state is under siege from terrorists and bandits. The governor, who was a guest on one of the sister televisions, said that the recent attacks that have claimed several lives is beyond herders and farmers crash. There has been a spike in attacks in the north-central state in recent weeks, with several local governments witnessing onslaughts that have seen a lot of people die. The governor said that the attacks are well planned and are executed by terrorists. He said it is directed and calibrated and are executed by terrorists. He said it is. The governor insisted that he is no longer viewed the attacks as a clash between farmers and herders, stating that they now involve specialized killers, terrorists who engage in a form of guerrilla warfare.
Well, we all know that what's happening, the video you're watching right now, of course, that's videos that happened over time, last month to this month. That's the few we could get. And of course, there was a mass burial kinda recently, where people lost families. In fact, a man lost his entire family actually, and had to bury them. It's so sad, and this is for the governor to have come out and make that statement, realizing that it is not just even about terrorism. It's the fact that they plan these things, they come, they execute, and they go. So there's something wrong somewhere. But you know what? Let's look at it differently. Do you think for a fact that what the governor said, that this is a premeditated terrorism on the state? And my question is, why is it that state? Because right now I feel like it's high. The insecurity in that state is pretty high right now. Why do you think it's so, Mazi?
Yeah, thank you once again for having Mazi on the show. Yes, I listened to the Archbishop of from that Benue State, one Reverend Chido Krafo.
Yeah.
When that name was mentioned, I thought it was my own Chido Krafo, my former General Superintendent of Assemblies of God. Until I saw him, I said, it's not my General Superintendent. He lamented. He collaborated with what the governor said. You see, last week I said on other platform that maybe next year I might not be analyzing in any studio, because every day we're counting how many killed, where was it, where did it happen, this, because it's something that are you killing goats or cow or ram?
These are humans.
Human beings. So 2 weeks back we discussed the issue of this Benue again, and the governor has come out to say, look, it's out of hand, and that drew our attention back to what the former governor of that Benue State, Otong, said. That was the time he outlawed open grazing, and before he knew it, he went to his own personal farm. It was chased back.
Oh.
Yes, he was chased out of, and they said they were targeting him. And when he complained to the former former president, he said, try to live in harmony with one another. My question is this: we want to live in harmony with killers?
How is that possible?
Is that possible? And I remember there were some statements credited to some northern leaders that Benue will not know any peace. 2 weeks back, we also talked about Benue killing. And unfortunately, the last one we discussed was that they lamented, they complained that the recent one then happened opposite a military checkpoint. And they shouted, pleaded for 2 hours, nobody responded. So you see that it's like Benue State, and of course, let us not personalize Benue State. It's all over. From where I was coming from, what discussed Sokoto State. Remember, Sokoto State, I think there was a bomb explosion somewhere in Sokoto. You talk about Zamfara. Generally speaking, we are under siege. And it's like our security apparatus, they failed us. Not that they are not trying, they are overwhelmed with challenges and other things.
Yeah.
Because I cannot imagine where Benue State, Plateau State, Zamfara cannot be controlled. It leaves much to be desired because these three states, Nasarawa, the same thing. So where is safe? Is it, I read also somewhere, you know, Benue State share the same boundary with Enugu State. I read somewhere, allegedly, anyway, that they said they've invaded the southeast. Yes, allegedly. Yes. Allegedly. Yes, they invaded, they are waiting for time. And you ask me, there's no any corner in the Nigeria environment that some of these boys are not there. So that draw my attention on how Biafra surrendered to the Nigeria. Because you see these people walking out, behaving like they are dumb and deaf. Walking around during 1969. So that was what actually happened. So Benue State in particular, I think the federal government should do something before it gets out of hand. It's getting out of hand.
It's already out of hand.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, we'll be coming back to continue on that matter. But let's quickly go for a commercial break. I will be right back to the studio. Stay with us. Anyways, I'm so excited. You're welcome back to the program. Of course, we're still talking about the Benue siege, and we had Mazi talking about what's going on there. So I want to ask again, do you think, like what the governor said, this is pre-planned? It's something that was planned, and you also said allegedly it's as though they are already waiting in the southeast. But for Benue State, do you think these attacks are pre-planned? Because to be honest, at some point I'm starting to think, is it just Benue State? Like every week you hear something relating to Benue State and this terrorism.
But you just heard me say that by next year I might consider stepping down because of some of the daily killings. I have to be very careful by saying yes, a planned thing because of whatever. But then, out of the mouth of two or three, the truth is established. If the governor has said it, then the Archbishop said it. Danjuma also said something like that. Somebody from, I think the governor of Kaduna State requested that we should defend ourselves. So I think that goes a long way to conclude that maybe there's something behind it. Because what do you get from somebody saying it happened opposite military checkpoints? And they cried for 2.5 hours. Nobody paid attention. And I did mention here last week or week before the last that even that Anglican bishop that was kidnapped where in about 3 years ago, 3 or 2 years ago, along Enugu Port Harcourt between Okigwe Lokwanta, he complained the same thing that, like I said, Enugu shared the same boundary with Benue State. He said that those that kidnapped him, that they were operating very close to a military checkpoint.
Oh wow!
Yes. And he went for that to warn travelers, if you see a military checkpoint, that you should be very careful. Especially when you see some cows roaming about. But then my worry is this: why is it that we cannot get the killings, kidnappings, and other things under control? When they came on board, 2014. They said Boko Haram have been technically defeated. Then we knew how Buhari, he said was a military head of state. And he said he was not going to negotiate with criminals. He said it. Now, we knew how much that he spent negotiating with these people. And today we are still, what has been happening has been. Do you understand me? If you understand my so it is much to be desired that because people begin to speculate, begin to suspect, begin to accuse the authorities that why is it that you are not doing anything? But to me, when people are crying, I've said this many times.
Yeah.
When a child is crying, pointing at a particular, there's something there.
Yeah.
Then the governor, even the former governor, complained. He complained seriously. No attention was paid to him.
And
then the present one now being APC governor, right? Complaining the same thing. And other people are complaining to them. Why is it that the federal government cannot look into that area?
Okay. Well, would you
Plateau, Zamfara State, Sokoto, Kebbi? What is actually happening?
Would you think maybe because we have less people, because you know what we talked about even policing in Nigeria, we always say that we have less policemen to govern, you know, the millions of people we have in Nigeria. Do you think it's the same thing that's applicable to also our military?
Yeah, from where I was coming from, I mentioned community policing. But this issue has gone the power beyond of policing.
Okay.
Police, I think the governor of Benue State said that they have more sophisticated weapon more than Nigeria. And again, we talk about corruption. They also accuse that some of all these things, and you look at it that from 1999 till now, the chunk money released for the security is in billions and trillions. Why is it that they've not been able to nip this into money? The answer is, I don't know. But to me, to an average Nigerian who are saying that something is fundamentally wrong. It's either the government is paying a lip service, or they don't want to do, or they are tired. Even when this administration comes about, they say they are going to tackle corruption, they are going to insecurity, but then it's like corruption is driving us out. Insecurity is driving us out. Not only within these areas. Even, do you know, last time I traveled 3 weeks ago, there were reports that Olu area was no go area. Yes, Olu area was no. Yes,
I think I heard that.
Fine. So, which area is safe now? There's no place safe. So we are now calling on the authorities. But then, the Minister of Defense or for Defense, yesterday I heard him channel, was it channel or TV?
The sister channel.
He said Sokoto is relatively calm. He talked about the same Benue, relatively calm. He said they are under control. But which under control? They are killing people. Then remember also, there was a time we discussed the issue of Zamfara, where the Gino minister came from. The Gino minister, they accused him sometime that he has a hand. But then, why is it that those Boko Harams, those bandits, those whatever, captured, instead of you to now provide them, send them into prison, you now say you are now trying to whatever, and now put them back
to the country,
put them back into the system, because it is a rat in the house. Now tells the rat outside that there's meat. The story of Sokoto, it was recorded that it was where the military used to rest under a tree that explosion took place, which means somebody must have reported. So saboteurs and the informants. So otherwise, why should it be that every time the government said it happened around 7 p.m. and they were about, it's like they were running, even including those running for their lives, they were pursuing them, killing them. So it's unfortunate. It's something we need to
I want to pick some calls and read some messages, but let's pick a call first. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Okay. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, please go ahead, sir.
So, sir, the only statement I want to make here is that the problem that I get with this country since many years ago, when you people, the people we are looking at, the people there, both the retired president, the current president, the senator, all the others, they are behind, they know the secret that is behind all this. Otherwise, so something like this is happening with this story. So they know what is actually happening. But they're trying to tell. And until we discover that what the problem, what the trouble, which are the tools. There's one that is not running this function. They know the secret, but they refuse to pay it.
Okay, thank you very much, Oluwole. Thank you so much.
No, we have had some allegations like that
Yes.
they are aware, but we're
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah, information has passed around where it was claimed allegedly, I will use that word, that the government has a hand, because something that lingers for too long becomes
Almost
impossible
said
to
last week we
save
discussed
people.
about it, and we said a person in the capacity of Ojus Okano, a senator, a former governor of Abia State, coming out to accuse the government, sub-government officials in the great places, including politicians, that they are behind some of these.
The late president also said it. President Sebacha said it, that if a war is not
Lingers
going
for too long,
just know that the
Yeah,
Jonathan said
government
it.
has
Jonathan said that his cabinet had been invaded by Boko Haram, and nobody paid attention. So
okay, even a guest said something. Sorry, a viewer. He said something. Said the word Buhari dropped to autumn, according to my, is suspicious, because soon every Nigerian will be going out with weapons. Because at that point, we've had a lot of governors that will be like, it's better we just legalize everybody having weapons.
yeah, there have been suggestions like that. But my question is, are we ripe for that?
Right for
We
that,
are
yes.
not.
No.
Maz, if you ask
With the
me,
way
we are
things
not.
are, we don't even wait for terrorists to attack.
If
We
it is
go and
legalized,
It
attack.
upsets me.
Yeah,
I go myself with
yes,
my
and
guns.
even
This is
if you
exactly
have
what
a
I'm
stubborn child, you can send him beyond. So, but then, like I said, we are not right for
We
that.
are not.
We are
But
not.
the government should stand up and do the right thing. The rate at which people are being slaughtered, just like they slaughtered rams 2 days ago, is alarming, and it calls for concern. My worry here is that people are saying that the government is not doing anything. Government is not despite the huge sum of money being released. What have they done? But also, I remembered Chief of Army Staff sometime. I think during was it Abacha or no, it was Jonathan administration. When Jonathan was relieved of his post anyway, the Chief of Army Staff then, I think he was arrested by EFCC, and he was accused of embezzling some money meant for this thing. And some of the soldiers have also said, we can't fight this thing with a bare hand. That the equipment are not there, they are not well paid, blah 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 blah. The question is, the money so far of being released, what has happened to it? Then I also asked them, what about the jets we requested from America? What happened to it? So these are questions that needs to be answered, and people are looking at that direction and said, if that is the case, it appears that the government, don't forget the secretary to the federal government is from that place. And if people like that are from that place and things are still happening, nobody, and some of them cannot go to the villages. Some of them cannot go to the villages.
But Mazi, just a very quick one. In your own opinion, do you think religion has a place in this terrorism in Benue State, Benue in particular?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because Benue, half of it Muslim, half of it Christian. I don't think so. It's something we have to investigate to know why. They at times they call it the term communion whatever clashes, but we don't know. It has gone beyond that. What we are saying is massacre, genocide. Let me use that word.
Genocide.
Killing indiscriminately. Today you hear another one. Tomorrow you hear another one, and they are saying it happens in the open view of the military. Some of them are not paying attention when they run to them. So what is actually happening? what
They
actually
might not
happened?
have the right weapons to fight this, like you said. Just the terrorists, their weapons are more sophisticated than the one of the military. We've heard the
You
military
cannot
complain.
also rule out corruption and sabotage, because when like what happened in Sokoto, who informed the bandits that the soldiers used to rest
Under
on
the
that?
tree.
Yeah, the tree.
It's something that we have to look into. And at times they operate on Sunday morning.
It could be they found out
Themselves.
You know, you don't
No,
even
but
know
like
them as,
Mazi is
you don't
saying,
identify them.
Yeah,
They might have
one of my retired army general, he said, when you want to fight, it's better you fight a physical war than fighting an invisible war, because the person you are discussing with, you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. But then don't rule out informants. Informants must have given them information.
True. Yeah.
Like about soldiers being attacked, Kaduna, Abuja Road, they were slaughtered. Like, I remember also when they said they were going to deploy some female military soldiers along that. I don't know, that one fused out. But let us focus on Benue. Not only Benue, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, and the rest of it. Why is it that the government that claim that they've technically defeated these people are still there? Just yesterday, the Minister for Defense claimed that everywhere is relatively calm. Last 3 weeks, there was an explosion in Abuja, opposite Abacha barracks, and nothing happened, right? So it's like we are talking. Talk is cheap. Let us do the talk.
Okay, let me read this last message from our viewer before we go over to the next topic. This one says, "Good afternoon to you all in the studio. The killing in Benue State is actually becoming alarming and unbearable. Federal government should take a proactive intervention, but chiefs in those communities should take responsibility." This is Henry from Dr. I'm trying to understand, why did you say chief, but I don't know. Can you relate with the chief part?
Well,
The rulers in the community.
Yeah.
Yes, that's another aspect of it, is that everybody should get involved. But you cannot fight with a bare hand. You cannot fight when you are not prepared. The rulers, the community rulers there, the other religious leaders now, information is key. That's why I talked about community policing. When if we have community policing, you'll be able to know who is your neighbor. Be able to know who comes into your community. But they said no, and of course you can't fight them. When the president say no, there's nothing you can do. But if you have community policing, they'll be able to know that some strange faces have entered into community,
Right.
and we'll be able to know that these people, they are, you see, what are they doing that human beings created in the image of God are being slaughtered like this? Is it not painful?
Very
It's shameful.
Very
The international community look at us as very wicked. Very wicked, because we kill ourselves. But then Buhari said some of them are not Nigerians. Then you talk about how porous
Our borders are.
That's the question.
All right. Anyways, that being said, we need to go back to the next topic so it doesn't look as though we're talking about one thing, because there are a lot of things that are trending. But I would like to say this: that I hope something is being done about these killings happening, not just in Benue State, in every other state.
Let us see that thing that is being done. Let us see it.
Yeah,
let the killing stop.
let's see that.
So that we will not come here. We won't invite you here to talk about
families, and it's not funny, to be honest.
Let us see the implementation. When they talk about, I say implementation of anything is important.
It's very important. Anyways, let's